So I'd like to welcome Julia Bramble to the stage, who's going to talk us through how to generate leads and sales through Facebook ads. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Can everybody hear? Great. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, and thank you so much for inviting me here today to speak to you about how to easily double your leads and customers using the power of Facebook ads. I hope you're ready to rock and roll. If you want to find me anywhere, that is my name all over social media. Not difficult to find at all. Now, I've been helping small businesses and marketers generate leads and customers using social media for about 6 years now. Marvelous, Julia. I love social media, and I love the power it gives us to connect with other people. I love the way it allows us to build relationships. But as you might have seen on the blurb, I'm actually a scientist by background, and I worked in forensic science for many years. How does forensic science marry up with social media? Well, yeah, you see, if you work in forensic science, you need to have systems that are robust and repeatable that you can rely on. And don't we need that as small business owners as well? Who wants to be faffing around with stuff that they don't even know is going to work for them? So much as I love organic social media, and I absolutely do, I have found it a little bit, I don't know if you're the same, a little bit woolly sometimes in terms of being able to systemize it and actually measure the results that you could get. So when Facebook ads came on the scene all those years ago, a very clunky little tool they were then, I was really intrigued because here we could harness the power of social media, but actually do it in a systematic and measurable way. Yes. Now, Facebook ads have come an awfully long way since I started using them 5 years ago. So now I would have to say they are the most cost-effective marketing tool on the planet. And if you're not using them, you are really, really missing out. And you know this, I don't need to tell you this. This is a graph I grabbed from We Are Social that was published at the beginning of this year that just shows you basically how Facebook is still smashing the competition in terms of social networks in use in the UK. So that's the UK adult population we're looking at there. It's wiping the floor with everything else, no matter what the avid Snapchatters might have us believe. So how can we get our piece of this amazing pie, this fantastic opportunity that is now here for our businesses? Have any of you looked at Facebook ads and felt like this? Yeah, I have too, it has to be said. The problem is that there is so much information out there about Facebook ads, isn't there? There's masses and masses of information, and there's a fair amount of misinformation too. That's quite difficult to spot. But also, Facebook ads are different for different types of businesses. So a lot of the information that's actually shared out there is either geared to the US market, or it's geared to, say, businesses that are huge, huge brands, or it's geared to e-commerce. But of course, the blogs and the YouTube videos and stuff that are telling you how to do it, they don't necessarily tell you that they're talking about e-commerce or they're talking in American terms. And actually, for the UK, small to medium-sized businesses, Facebook ads don't have to be that complicated or complex. They really don't. There are a lot of gurus out there who are making an awful lot of money out of making Facebook ads seem much more complicated than they actually are. So please, get rid of the overwhelm bit when you think of Facebook ads and see them as something much simpler. What I want to do now is take you through how to use Facebook ads to generate leads and customers for your business, obviously. But what I want to do before I start talking about the technical stuff is actually share with you some really important concepts that mean when you go out and use Facebook ads, you'll do it with knowledge and understanding and information rather than being told what to do. I want to kind of give you some background so that you know why you would be doing it and the hows, because otherwise I think once again you can just get hit with this overwhelm. Well, Julia told me to do it this way and I've seen seen someone else that's telling me to do it that way. Whereas if you can grasp the concepts, I think it will really help. This is an example of how you can use Facebook ads really, really simply. We talked about cutting through the overwhelm. We all know video is amazing and it's a fantastic, engaging communication tool, don't we? So why not think about using video in conjunction with Facebook ads? There's going to be a fantastic talk later on all about video, so I don't need to tell you anything about that. But I just wanted to give you some results. You go, oh my God, Julie, you told me it wasn't complicated and you're showing a load of figures to me. Don't worry, there are just a couple of key points here. This is a campaign that I just ran for a client who's in a very highly regulated sector, so they cannot share marketing information on social media. They can only share educational messages. So they had 4 videos, well, it was 1 video actually, they cut into 4, and it wasn't a brilliant video, to be honest, to even start off with. However, you can see from the results here that for a budget of under £150, we reached nearly 69,000 targeted people, and they had about 75,000 video views. And they're paying an average of between a third a penny and a penny for each deliberate video view. You can see why I'm talking about Facebook advertising being some of the most cost-effective marketing on the planet. Where else could you be getting results like that? And that was all, as I say, to people who were absolutely targeted to be the right audience for them. So I'm hoping that that gives you an idea of how you could use Facebook ads very, very simply in your business without going down the overwhelm route. The 5 essential elements that I do want to share with you today to make sure that you can use Facebook ads strategically for your business are these. And I'm not going to read them out to you because I know that you can read. But we're going to start with concepts. And what I want to do is get these 2 huge boulders or misconceptions out of the way first, please, if I may. Because business owners that I talk to day in, day out, and marketers are struggling with these. And it's not their fault, it's just these are the urban myths that are going around about Facebook. The first is, oh, Facebook, we used to get really good reach on our Facebook pages and now we've got to pay to play. Oh, Facebook ads are just to replace the organic reach that we used to have on our Facebook pages. Yeah, your organic reach has gone down, but Facebook ads are giving you so much more than just replacing the reach you had on your page. You can now go out there and reach whole audiences that you never ever would have reached before with your Facebook page because of the amazing targeting options that are there within Facebook ads. You've also got the ability to measure exactly what you're doing and to test different options. You can't do that with your Facebook page. So let's get that one out of the way. The second one, and I see this all the time, so please don't fall for this, is that Facebook ads are there for selling. And I think it just comes from the name, Facebook ads. People think, oh yeah, ads, that means that I'm selling. They are not there for selling. If you're going to go out and buy, say, a new dishwasher, where would you go online, first of all? Yes, thank you. I gave you a little bit of a clue in the slide, didn't I? We would go to Google, wouldn't we? We would not go to Facebook. And yet people have still got this in their head, that Facebook ads are for selling. Facebook is a social platform. We are on Facebook, maybe in the evening, sat on the sofa, watching a little bit of Gogglebox with a glass of something chilled in our hand and our phone or our iPad open in front of us. Yeah, probably multitasking, probably with the kids crawling all over us, whatever. We are not on Facebook to buy. So the people on Facebook have got a very different context behind them than the people who are researching on Google. Facebook ads are a communication tool. And if you only take one thing away from my talk, then please let it be this. They are a highly targeted, yes, we have to pay for it, but they are a communication tool, just like the jolly old telephone. What happens if you're in the office, saying you're about to rush off to a meeting and someone cold calls you. Say they're trying to sell you office furniture. Are we interested? Do we enjoy the cold call? What's our response? Absolutely. The shutters go down. Even if we've got an office that is full of tables and chairs that are falling to bits and we know that we need new office furniture, that person isn't in buying mode. Same if a double glazing salesperson rocks up to your front door. You might have a house full of windows that need replacing, but if you're busy cooking the evening meal, you don't want to know about it, do you? And that's the problem. If we use Facebook ads for selling, what we are trying to do is actually pinpoint that 1 in 1,000 people who's actually in buying mode right now. And we are missing out on all those people who could be interested in what we have to offer, but just aren't in buying mode right now. So what we need to do is think about Facebook ads in exactly the opposite way, and not thinking about trying to pinpoint that one person in buying mode, but think about attracting people who could be interested in what we've got to offer now, not sell to them. Come on, Mr. Slide. We know this is true, don't we? This is the second point that I would like you to take from my talk. If you can cope with 2 points from my talk with the overload of information that you're going to get today. We know this is true. Say you've got a patio and you would really like to get your patio pressure washed. And you've had a quick look on a local business directory, say, and you find there's a business 20 miles away that could do it for you. And then you hear that a friend of yours who runs a garden maintenance company actually offers that as one of their services as well. Who would you buy from? Thank you. We are awake in the room. Are you awake in the room? We're going to have to do some star jumps to wake us up? Yes. We would buy from our friend. And why would we buy from our friend? Yes, we know, like, and trust them. We don't know anything about that other business. So, hey presto, what do you think our strategy to get amazing leads and customers for our business from Facebook ads could be then? Come on, you can do this. I can hear the cogs whirring. Yes, thank you very much. You see, you could give this talk. I don't need to give it. Oh, that's misaligned itself slightly, but never mind. We're going to use Facebook ads to attract the right kind of people to our business. And then we are going to build relationships, build the know, the like, and the trust before we make offers and before we sell to people. And the first step in that process is getting to know who it is that you want to attract. I'm sure you've all, back at work, got an ideal client or customer profile written down on a bit of paper. Am I right? Or on your hard drive? Cool. Does it go into things like their daily routine, where they buy their food from, what their aspirations are, what really bugs them day to day, who they talk to, what do they talk to their friends about, what language do they use? Once you start knowing your ideal client or customer that well, you will start to see fantastic results with your Facebook ads because people are on Facebook talking to their friends. So if you join in that conversation that's already going on with language that they are already using, then when they see your stuff in the newsfeed, it's likely to attract them rather than just bringing those shutters down. So we get to know who they are, and then, yes, we can do all this lovely, fluffy, connecting stuff, but actually we do have businesses to run, don't we? So we do need to lead them on a path, encourage them down a path that leads to your offers and your business. So this, in a nutshell, is the strategy that I want to share with you today. We are going to attract people who could be interested in what we offer using Facebook ads, and then we're going to carry on talking to them. Simple. Can we all do that? Do we like that strategy? Good. So now you want to know the nuts and the bolts and how to actually make it happen, don't you? Good, right answer, because otherwise I could just sit down right now. That would be perfect. I can sit and put my feet up, have a cup of coffee. Right, we'll go on to the next bit then. Well, I will if the slide would change. This is probably the most complicated slide I've got, okay? Facebook ads aren't scary. They don't have to be complicated. Your customers and your clients are buying from you because of what you've got up here. Your knowledge, your expertise, your experience, your personality. That's great. They're getting to take advantage of that. But there's a whole wide world out there that knows nothing about all that goodness you've got up here. So how about we take some of that and we package it up into nuggets that can be easily consumed by the people that need them and can be shared by you as a way of attracting people into your business. That sound good? Awesome. So we're going to think about what your potential ideal customer or ideal client might want to know that would help them solve the problem that they've got or help them achieve the dream that they have got. Just a little piece of it. We don't want to overwhelm them. We're going to package that information up into something easily consumable, like a checklist or a very short guide or even a little video. So that if you went out to them and said, hey, would you like to know the 6 things you have to change in order to have a healthy diet, say, or the questions you need to ask before you hire a web developer, would you like to know that? And your ideal customer or client would say, yeah, you know what, that would be really useful. That's kind of a cool way to think about doing things, isn't it? So we take that knowledge, we turn it into something easily consumable, then we've actually got to get it out there. How do we do that? We host it on a web page. And we host it on an independent web page that's called a squeeze page. And it's only called a squeeze page. So you'll remember that, won't you? Because what you're doing is you're asking people to be squeezed through making a decision. They come to this page, they get offered your freebie. If they want it, they give you their email address so that you can send it to them. If they don't want it, they go away. And where do Facebook ads come in then, Julia? We use Facebook ads to share this squeeze page out with a highly targeted audience of people who could be your next clients and customers, people who've got an interest in the information that you're sharing. That's where the Facebook ads come into this equation. So what's happening here is that you, by sharing this amazing goodie out there with the right audience for you, you start collecting the email addresses of people who are interested in solving that problem because they've asked for the information. And they have got your freebie. And without you selling anything, you are now positioned as someone who shares value. You are now positioned as someone that they trust. If they've consumed your freebie and it's helped them, you are now positioned as someone who's actually helped them. So you started to build that relationship with these people already with no selling whatsoever. If you then keep in touch with them using good old email, and we can all manage that, can't we? You can nurture that relationship, you can make offers to these people, and guess what? You don't have to rely on any of those pesky third-party social media platforms that change their minds all the time, or that might vanish tomorrow, because you own that data. You are growing the biggest asset in your business, which is your email database. And if you want to go back to those people and ask them for their phone numbers or their snail mail addresses so you can contact them that way, then perfect. You can build on it. So that is a strategy that works. That is a lovely, basic, classic strategy that works. It works for me and it works for my clients. Does it work, Julia? Well, yes, I've just told you it does. But this is just a quick summary of what happened to me when I put together my first Facebook ads course. I used exactly this strategy to build up an email database. It was only about 1,500 people. But what I did is I then put together 3 training videos about Facebook ads. I served them via email. I sent people there via email. And I told them about this online course that was available. I gave them 10 days to buy it, and I ended up with a 5-figure launch. I'm not a techie. I don't do all like massive funnily stuff that the Americans talk about. So if I can do this stuff, you guys can do it too. I promise you. I also helped a client recently who literally contacted me about a week before she wanted to do the warm-up work for her launch. And we managed to generate her about 200 leads in a week for about 70p each. And they went on, after she'd done the warm-up work with them, they went on to buy thousands of pounds worth of her business program. It really does work. This was point number 2 on my slide about how we want to use Facebook ads to generate us leads and customers. And this is really, 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 really important. So please don't go to sleep at this point. We've been talking about email databases. Does anyone know that Facebook actually allows you to build the equivalent of an email database within its own platform? Have you heard of that? Right, it's absolutely awesome. So Facebook allows you to build a custom audience. They hold the data. You can't actually get at the data, but you can go back and talk to those people again and again using Facebook ads. Remember that phone slide where I said Facebook ads are a communication tool? Exactly that. So you can load up your own email database to Facebook and then serve ads to the people on your email list. Julia, that's absolutely daft. Why on earth would I want to do that? If everybody opens all your emails, then please, there's no need for it for you whatsoever. Need I say more? However, what's probably even more interesting is that Facebook will give you a code, a little piece of code. It's called a pixel. I promise it's not complicated. You can do it yourself or give it to your web developer to do, okay? Tiny piece of code that you can stick on all your web pages. And Facebook is really clever. They can then take the information from anybody who's visited that web page and add it to a custom audience in Facebook. So anyone that's visited any of the pages on your website, or indeed a squeeze page that you set up, anything, you can now go back and talk to them using Facebook ads. How cool is that? Do we think that's cool? Yes. Good. Thank you very much. It's absolutely flipping amazing. So I hope you're really excited by that. We can also specify exactly what web page, and we can say, yes, this web page, but not that web page, etc., etc. And they don't leave it there. Once you have given them a seed audience, you can ask Facebook to go out there and find a whole new group of people with the same interests and demographics as your seed audience for you to advertise to as well, called a lookalike audience. No extra cost, they just do it. Awesome. So this just gives you a little diagram that shows you how you could add retargeting into that strategy that I just showed you with the squeeze page. So if you were sending someone to a squeeze page via Facebook ads, they opt in, that's great, they join your email database. They don't opt in, without this little pixel on there, you've lost them for good. So you've paid to get them to the page. If they've not given you their email address for whatever reason, they've gone bye-bye, walkies. However, if you've got the pixel on there, all of a sudden you've got another bite at the cherry, because you can actually now serve Facebook ads to these people again, even though you didn't get their email address. You could send them a blog, you could send them a video, you could send them to a different squeeze page, you could send them to the same squeeze page. Now you are building an asset for your business within Facebook, as well as your email database. And when you are serving ads to an audience that you've built up, a custom audience, that's where the cost savings really, really start to come in, because these people are warm to you already. I've been using this strategy absolutely with a client I've got who's got a big event coming up, and they haven't got a lead magnet, a freebie, that's actually relevant to the event. So we haven't been able to go down the lovely squeeze page strategy. So what we've done is we've shared, or what I've done, shared image quotes. So I've got the speaker, I've got lots of speakers at the event. They've all given a little quote. We've put it as an image, and I've shared those using Facebook ads with a link to their event page. So people have gone across to see what it's all about, but they're not ready to buy, because we've been putting those ads out to cold audiences. They're not ready to buy. What we're then doing is serving ads to the people who have visited that sales page, whether they visited from Facebook ads or indeed from Twitter or any of the other social media sites, and we're getting ticket sales. So if you haven't got a squeeze page set up, if you've got to do something in a hurry, then retargeting could be your new very best friend forever. This is very important. Has anyone run a Facebook ad using that blue boost post button before? Right. Could I encourage you maybe to rethink your strategy slightly? When you go to Facebook and you run an ad in either Ads Manager or Power Editor, the first thing you are asked is what's the objective for your campaign? Because Facebook are really clever. They follow our every move on their platform. They know what we do. So they are able to show your ad to people who are more likely to take an action. And if actually what you want people to do is watch your video, and you tell Facebook, yeah, I want to get video views, then they will show your ads to people who are more likely to want to watch videos within the audience you've selected than people who don't. The problem comes with if you use the Boost Post button, what you're telling Facebook is, I want you to show my ad to people who are more likely to like, comment, or share this post, which is great if that's what you actually want. But if you actually want to send people to a website, or to view your videos, or indeed to take an action on your website, which is what opting in is, which is called a website conversion, then asking Facebook to boost the post as the objective is not the right one for you, and it's going to cost you a shed load more money to run ads using that Boost Post button than it is to go into the Ads Manager and choose your objective properly. There was a person who I had to look over his Facebook ads, probably about a year ago now, and he had used the Boost Post button when he did want people to actually click through to his website. And when we had a look, he didn't get very good results. He didn't get very many clicks, but those he had got, it cost him an average of £25 to get each website click, when it could have cost him probably about 50p if he'd chosen the right objective. So please just have a little think and use the right one for your business. My other point was to be compelling, and we've talked about this to some extent already. The more we can be talking on Facebook in the same way that our audience is talking, the more likely they are to want to receive our content and respond to it. So this just gives you the structure of an ad in the newsfeed. I don't recommend using those ads in the right-hand column. Basically, they don't show up on mobiles, and most people are on mobiles these days, yeah? We've got our ad here. We've got space for text above and below our image. Choose a lovely image. Smiley faces work really well with no text, because the more text you've got, the less reach you get on Facebook ads. An image that helps to share the message. And in your text, what you want to do is let people know the benefits. You know, marketing, you always talk about features versus benefits. This really comes to the fore here. Let people know the benefits of taking the action that you are asking them to take. And if it's our squeeze page example, it's clicking across and grabbing their freebie. How is that going to change their life? How is that going to make them feel? And remember in the text also to tell them what to do. We like to be simply told. We like things to be clear and simple. So Facebook ads are no exception. At the bottom, you get a call to action button, which Facebook give you several options on what you can, on the button you can have there. The Learn More one, in my experience, works really well, because you're not saying to people, you must download or whatever else. You're giving them the option. So let's be compelling. And this is my final point, but it is, once again, a hugely important point. Do we need star jumps before I go through this one, or are we still awake? Still awake? Good. Right. Do you think we should do star jumps? Okay, right. Vicky thinks we should do star jumps. I will do them with a microphone and a clicker, okay? Shall we stand up? Let's stand up. It might make my talk overrun by a minute or two, but there we go. It's all good. So we're going to jump for joy at the thought of running Facebook ads for our businesses and getting all those new leads and customers. So how many should we do? 5? Can we manage 5? Right. Okay, she's going to Snapchat it. Okay. I'm no good at star jumps. I don't know why I got us into this in the first place. Ready, steady. Star jump number 1. Yes. Star jump number 2. Yes. Star jump number 3. Yes. Star jump number 4. Whoopee! Star jump number 5. Yeah, go for gold. And an extra one for luck. Woo! Awesome. Thank you for playing along, ladies and gents. Now you're all warmed up to hear about this last point. I can feel the energy kind of going like this. It's like, oh, geez, Julie, are you still waffling on? But I really, really, really want you to get this point, okay? Lots of people go out there and they produce a beautiful, highly polished Facebook ad. And they show it to an audience that isn't really bothered, and then they say Facebook ads don't work. It's because they've shown it to people that aren't actually motivated to solve the problem or the challenge that they've got. So what I want to say to you is please, please, go out there, use Facebook's amazing ability to target the right people for you. You've got over 60 different filters sitting there in Facebook ads, ways to get your ad in front of the right people. Yes, you've got gender, you've got location, but you've also got things like their employer, their job title. You can target by their income bracket. Now this is getting interesting, yes. You can target by where they're traveling to, when they're most likely to buy their next new car, all sorts of amazing things, and they're always adding to it. But one of the best ways to target is actually to think about who your ideal people might be interested in. What Facebook pages might they have liked? You've got a competitor with a big, juicy Facebook page. Oh, yes, that's gold. Go there first as your targeting option. Start doing a little bit of stealing from your competitors. It's awesome. You can target really broad audiences. You can target very narrow audiences. But you won't know which ones work best for you unless you actually go out there and test it. It's very difficult to predict how an audience is going to respond to one precise ad with your precise copy and your precise image unless you go out and test it. So take your ad and run it out to 4 or 5 different audiences that you think would be good for you with a low budget. And then the ones that do respond really well, and you'll be able to tell that by how much it costs you to get the action that you want. Oh God, she's getting technical. But the ones that look really good for you, then you can start to slowly increase the budget on those and stop the ones that aren't working. Simple concept, and it is really, really powerful, because not only are you then going to keep your budgets much smaller, but you're also going to pick up the people who are much more motivated to want to work with you in the first place. It's kind of intuitive, but with the numbers behind it that sometimes make it a little bit confusing. So here is an example again of one of my campaigns to show you exactly what I'm talking about. Oh, I just brought the numbers out again. But again, it's a very simple message. I had an ad that I ran to 3 different audiences. I just love the noises Zappa's making, don't you? It's great. Ran it out to 3 different audiences, and you can see here the results that I got from each audience running along the line. So this first audience, it cost me 99p to get a result, which was a website conversion. The second audience, it cost £2.67 for a result. And you can see I kept that budget. I never increased that budget. I stopped that ad pretty soon. And the third audience, it cost me 78p for the same result. So those 2 audiences were the ones that I ramped up the budget to show the ads to. You see, it's quite easy peasy lemon squeezy, isn't it? We can all do that kind of analysis, can't we? Yes. I ran some ads for a client recently, and she was wanting a report at the end of it, so I did a few little sums. I tested about 12 audiences for her. And after doing the sums, I worked out that if we'd gone for one of the audiences that I tested right at the beginning to get the same results as she actually garnered throughout the entire campaign, if we'd just gone for that one audience to get the same results, she would have paid £900 more than she actually did than from the audiences that we use that were much more responsive. So it can make a huge difference. So please don't just target one audience and tick that box and think, yay, I've had them done. Just spend a little bit of time to see how different audiences behave for you. I'll probably have to answer it at the end or later, or catch me in the break or something. Thank you. So they are the 5 elements that you need to go racing off and putting into practice in your business to double your leads and customers using Facebook ads. I don't want to take it away from the screen if you're all screenshotting it, but I'm happy to let you have this information anyway, of course. Obviously, I haven't been able to go through everything in this talk, so if you want to go and have a look at my squeeze page, then please do. You can go over to www.bit.ly/ads checklist and get a hold of my checklist there. And I send out other email-y type goodies about Facebook and all sorts of things like that. And I would just finally like to say, the best Facebook ad in the world is going to do nothing for you if it's sat on your laptop and it's not out in the big wide world. So just please go out there and do it. Thank you very much.
Brilliant, thank you.